Hello, I'm LeBon, and I'm recording a series of short videos to accompany through your journey in SMART, Stoic Mindfulness and Resilience Training 2020. And it's day one today, so welcome. And we're going to do an exercise. I'm doing exercising on this. You're going to watch me do it, and hopefully that will be really helpful. So we'll just kick off with a really short introduction to materials. So we'll skip over the course structure and the overview. Obviously, you can read these in your own time. And we'll spend a moment on Stoic mindfulness, because this is what week one is all about. So you've probably heard of mindfulness, and you might have done mindfulness of breathing, for instance. Well, Stoic mindfulness is related, but it's not quite the same. So what is Stoic mindfulness and why is it important? Well, we'll see that Epictetus is the main man here who really kind of emphasized this and told us to focus on our judgments. So this is a particularly helpful passage that Donald Robertson written. So for Stoics, mindfulness of breathing wouldn't necessarily be a particularly helpful exercise. It's attention to our judgments that really matter, especially our value judgments, and whether we lapse into placing too much importance on things outside of our control or not. So that's really what Stoic mindfulness is. It's being aware from moment to moment of your judgments, aware from moment to moment of what you can control and what you can't control, and then acting appropriately after that. So we'll skip over the handbook of Epictetus, although it's would be a very good read for you. There's a famous quote: "Some things are up to us under our direct control, whereas other things are not up to us." Epictetus, Enchiridion 1. And that may ring some bells for you, because the Serenity Prayer is rather similar. So did Epictetus pinch it from Alcoholics Anonymous? Or is there a chance it might be the other way around? We can't be sure whether it was pinched from Stoicism, but it's certainly very similar. So if you like the Serenity Prayer, then you like Stoicism. You may already be practicing Stoicism to some extent. But how can you practice it? How can you practice it in a more consistent way? And this is where doing the practical exercises that's on in the SMART course is really important. So today we're going to look at the 2-column exercise, and I'm going to do it here and now, and we'll see how I get on. So what do? We say, what's the problem I want to evaluate? Well, I'm going to pick something that's probably on a lot of our minds: whether I get COVID-19. Right, how much control do I have over it? Well, what's my first thought is, well, you know, either I get it or I don't, not that much. So my initial thought is perhaps, I don't know, 40%. We might need to think again about that later. Why don't I have zero control? Well, the Stoics say that what we can control is what we do and what our attitude is. So I can certainly control what I do. So what can I control? I can control what I do and what I avoid doing. Why don't I have complete control? Well, even if I am totally wise, I might get unlucky. Catcher. I suppose you could say I could stay indoors all the time, not go out. But actually, other people in my household might get it. Or even if I was getting home deliveries the whole time, there's still some chance. It's not completely outside. It's not completely in my control. So what do I do when I adopt a more philosophical Stoic attitude? What I do is I look at these things and I perhaps reassess this. So is it as low as 40%? Well, actually, I think it's more than that. I think it's 60%. Because look, what have I said? I can control what I do. So I can, and here we go into the details. So I can be vigilant when I'm out. So what does that mean? Mask, hand washing when I get back, keep my distance. So I can impact this if I'm really kind of careful when I'm out. And there's something else to it, which is I can ignore, collect thoughts about catching it at other times. So other times, like right now, I might have a thought, will I catch it? There's nothing helpful I can do. So a more philosophical attitude is to say, well, it's outside my control. And only focus on it at times when it's in my control, which is when I decide whether to go out, when I'm out, and when I come back from going out. So am I sure I identified my level of control correctly? Well, am I happy with 60%? I'm beginning to think it might even be higher than that. I'd say 70% for the time being. That might change if my employers say you've got to come back and travel to work. That might change, but at the moment, I'm going to say 70%. So has this been a useful exercise for me? I would say it has. I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got more control than I thought. And that's what I need to do. And that's what I need to do the rest of the time. Could that particular insight be helpful for you? Could this be helpful for you? For other concerns that you have? It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting that this simple form can actually potentially help us quite a lot over something that really matters to us, like whether we catch COVID. Hope that's been helpful. See you later.